But first, it's a tragedy that could have been prevented. A 2-year-old boy is left in a hot car and dies. Today, police will continue to try and figure out why it happened. Albuquerque police say the boy was found around 3:30 yesterday afternoon in 95-degree heat. Now, they say he was left inside a relative's car at the Precious Moments Learning Center on Ladera and Atrisco. We're told that that relative works at the daycare. Now, the boy was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The DA's office will now decide whether or not to file charges once police wrap up their investigation. This morning, we are still waiting to find out who the woman was that was hit by a car on a dark road near the El Dorado subdivision in Santa Fe County. It happened Friday night. The driver told Santa Fe deputies that he thought he had hit an owl, then drove back and found the woman. The pedestrian is in critical condition but has no identification on her. Deputies say she appears to be Middle Eastern, in her 30s, with wavy black hair and has a Middle Eastern tattoo on her shoulder. Albuquerque police are looking for a tricky tire thief this morning. The thief was recently caught on tape. Check it out. Investigators say this guy shows up to a home in northwest Albuquerque late last week looking for some tires and rims to steal.
He's very bold. The fact that he actually is wearing sandals, he comes back multiple times during the actual crime.
Now, the owner of the truck had been a victim before, so he had surveillance cameras rolling this time, and cops say the video shows the crook takes the tires off the truck and rolls them away. Investigators think this guy might be connected to more than 250 tire thefts. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. Well, you don't hear about this one very often, something being stolen from the bottom of a pool, but investigators say that's exactly what happened, and now they're looking for the culprits. Listen to this. A young swim team at the Paradise Community Pool in northwest Albuquerque recently noticed the racing lanes were stripped from the bottom of the pool. But why in the world would someone want to steal them?
The only thing I can figure out is maybe it was some kind of a badge of honor for some particular group to say, hey, we were able to do this.
Well, the county parks and rec director says the bandits used knives and must have gone underwater for hours to pick the stripes off the concrete floor of the pool, if you'd believe it. The county will have to drain the pool now and replace the lines before next year's swim season, costing the county at least $2,000. The city of Albuquerque says they have some problem properties on their hands, and now they're looking for the owners to pay up. The Safe City Strike Force team has torn down 26 properties since 2009, from drug houses to crime-ridden motels along Central Avenue. The city fronts the cost to demolish them, which has cost as much as $250,000. Then the owner is ordered to pay the city back. That usually happens when the property is sold, but 10 are still up for sale. So for now, the city is out $500,000.
The city of Albuquerque does a really good job in demolishing unsafe and substandard buildings. We just have to follow up and pursue the money.
The city says it has started taking owners to court if they don't pay up. The Albuquerque City Council holds off on fixing a problem that was uncovered by our News 13 investigative reporter Larry Barker. A few months ago, Larry reported two well-paid, full-time city hearing officers were doing significant work for themselves, not having to do with the city, but doing so on city time. Both of them later resigned. Now, officials said the problem was that the Office of Administrative Hearings had no direct oversight. A bill went before the council last night that would have put the city clerk in charge of the Office of Administrative Hearing, but councilors chose to defer action. It's a national campaign geared towards stamping out crime. We're talking uniting residents and law enforcement. A big event takes place tonight at a number of locations, and one of them is at Mary Fox Park near downtown Albuquerque. That's where our News 13's David Romero is live with details, and he's going to tell you how you can get involved. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Elizabeth. Well, it's all about communication. Organizers believe that if people in the area get to know each other and get to know police, that it'll be another deterrent against crime. Now, this is what one of last year's celebrations looked like. City leaders and law enforcement officials meeting members of the community. National Night Out events have been going on in the Albuquerque area since the program started 29 years ago. The national organization says it has proven to be an effective and inexpensive way to promote police and resident partnerships. The Night Out events are not only limited to neighborhoods, but will be happening at parks and even the plaza in Santa Fe. With some elected officials going out to the gatherings, organizers say it's also a good chance for residents' concerns to be addressed on another level.
It's an opportunity for police officers and representatives of the Albuquerque Police Department to go out and meet with these folks and in a very low-key kind of social environment. So it's a nice way of getting to know each other from that standpoint.
Now, if you want to participate in these National Night Out events, you may want to check with your neighborhood association, see if, when, and where they're holding one. Elizabeth, back to you.
All right, very good to know, David. Thank you so much. By the way, most of the events are scheduled to take place between 6 and 9 o'clock tonight.